Is that it? Just that tiny one? I mean, like, you know what? Actually, no, that's fine. That's fine because it's not
tiny trumpet.
Okay,
consider it.
It's fine.
Micro Trump.
Micro Trump. Okay.
Micro
Sounds
Trump.
like a midget Donald Trump.
Kind of does. All it does is yell and tell lies. Is that too spicy? I feel like that's very fucking political.
Ooh, buddy.
Ooh.
What do we know about fucking
Can't go saying
politics? We don't know shit.
Next to nothing. Next to nothing.
I mean, Australian politics are enough of a fucking circus on their own. Like, oh, mate. Oh, what a fucking...
Holy moly.
This is...
So, what happened?
What happened? We're recording on a fucking Monday afternoon, evening. Is what's happening.
Okay. So this is like... I think Saturday was kind of like... I was a little bit, involved in the delay there. But Sunday was pretty firmly in your
Yeah, that was
camp.
absolutely me. I was fucked both times.
Do you want to explain the very Titan-esque issue that you suffered?
I'll try to do it quickly. Where I come from, it is very cold. It is a very cold place. Perth is not a very cold place. It is a fucking hot place. It is summer right now, and the place that I am staying has no aircon. And at a certain point, ceiling fans become ineffective. A certain level of heat, ceiling fan basically is not. It's just circulating hot air.
Right.
So I overheat already. During winter, I overheat if I have too many blankets and shit on. So during summer, it's just made worse. I just constantly fucking sweat. So what happens to me in summer here, if I don't have aircon, is that I sweat so much that I dehydrate myself through the night. And my body's too dumb to wake up and drink water. So I just wake up in the morning with a fucking headache, a super intense headache.
It's like when you've been drinking and you don't...
It is that. It's
water
like a hangover, only I didn't get the fun times of being drunk the night before. I just went to bed like normal. And then woke up with a fucking...
Yeah, you sent me a message. It was just the skull emoji. And I was like, okay. So... Because usually you put a bit of detail in your messages.
I couldn't, yeah.
But this was just a skull emoji. I was like, yeah, he's probably not good.
That's the thing. I had been drinking the night before, but I got home at a pretty reasonable time, and I wasn't like... I didn't have enough that night for this to happen. It's just because of how hot it was. No other reason.
Jesus. That's nuts,
I also
man.
sent you a picture of my old fashioned that I was drinking, just to make you jealous.
Yeah, you did. I was super jealous. I miss having like really nice cocktails to drink.
That chick
That's like
the chick making my old fashions. They were so fucking good, man.
She knew what she was doing.
Yeah, it's funny because
Like,
I asked
the
if they
other
could
thing,
make them, and she said, "I can make you an old fashioned," because she was like I don't know, front of house or something like that, or the manager or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, no, like I don't care who makes it." And she's like, "No, I don't trust these other guys to make them properly." I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, I don't care who makes it.
A masterclass in treating your staff correctly. Yeah.
Well, look, it's
all
fine
of
to
my
have
employees
reasonable
are
expectations
inept.
of them. To be like, look, no, this is out of the ordinary. I don't want these guys touching that. Which is strange to me because like they were making all these fucking weird drinks that I've never seen before. I didn't think an old fashioned was that difficult. Like there's not that many ingredients in it. So how do you fuck it up? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough to...
The beauty is in the simplicity.
I did the same thing yesterday.
And the alcohol. The beauty is also in the alcohol.
I had about 6 or 7 old fashions yesterday. From lunchtime through to, I don't know, 11 o'clock or something.
Did she do the lighter on the orange peel as well?
I didn't see them making them. Both of these places, they just said, "We'll bring it out to you when it's ready." Like, okay.
And they were good?
Yeah, they were good. The first place yesterday, the old fashioned was good. Not as good as the place Friday night. Second place we went to yesterday, after a few hours at the other joint, we went somewhere else. And it was actually another chick there. There was all 3 places. It was a chick making my old fashions. I only just realized that. None of the dudes knew how to make them. Does that mean, am
That's
I
it.
buying a
There
girly
you go.
drink? Is that what's happening here, Hamish? Fuck.
You heard it here first on NULLSCORE. Men make shit bartenders. There you go.
No.
That's what people come here for. Hot takes. We're actually going to rebrand as a big feminist radio station.
Oh, no.
Is what we're going to do.
Not my thing at all. But yeah, whoever
Anyway,
the fuck was
I
making,
think
they were really fucking good. That second place, they were so good, man. I just kept ordering them.
You got an intro to smash out, man?
I mean, yeah, I just like to talk a bit of shit at first, mate. Welcome to NULLSCORE, the podcast where we make... wait, what have I fucking typed up here? Where we make... Yeah, I knew what I was trying to say, but I fucked it up. Do you want to read my fucked intro?
Okay.
I'm going to do it. Welcome to NULLSCORE, the podcast where we make fun of people for pre-ordering another game that's an absolute fucking mess at launch. My name's Jim, and this is my co-host, Hamish. How's your dream of becoming Phoenix Wright coming along, man?
Okay, my dream of becoming Phoenix Wright actually progressing really smoothly.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
With my trial the other day, I got to do like a proper objection. I did
finally got
a
to
very
say it.
Phoenix Wright thing.
Did you point as well? I bet you didn't point.
No. So the thing is, right, people think that
seems unprofessional.
when you're in court. Well, here's the thing. Like, objection is one of the things that is strangely not very, like, reserved in a courtroom. Because objections need to be, like, immediate and they need to just stop whatever people are doing, you literally, like, get up out of your chair and you say objection, and quite loudly. And then the judge will listen out for what your objection is, and then you tell them. So you don't get the full-on point and the like desk slam and everything. I mean, you could slam the desk if you really wanted, but I didn't.
Get removed.
So I just kind of stood up and I was like objection, and then I said what it was. I'm pretty sure it was just like a shit question, like the prosecutor asked a question he shouldn't have asked. I was like objection. It was awesome. It was good. But also pre-ordering a game that's a mess at launch. Yeah. And it's always going to happen with a game as big as Cyberpunk. And I mean that not in the sense of the hype surrounding it was big. I mean in that the game is literally huge.
It's very ambitious.
So much to do in that
and
game.
And it looks... I've seen some gameplay working properly, and the game looks really fucking good in that footage. Other footage...
It looks incredible.
I have a friend... you know what? I'm going to read some of the messages he sent me. I've got a couple. I'll go through them very, very quickly and not dwell on it too much, but I just thought they were funny.
Yeah.
All right, scrolling back. Where is it? Here we go. So far in Cyberpunk, after the first cutscene, a car that was supposed to chase me didn't load, so I was being chased by a 5-polygon blob. Then the cop at the checkpoint also didn't load. Then she did load and wound up running herself over by spawning underneath my car, which made all the cops aggressive and started shooting me. Then her next dialogue line was respawned where she was supposed to be, and all the cops reset. Now I'm being haunted by some phantom Japanese sex worker. Wherever I go, her dialogue is being randomly triggered. She says in Japanese, "Oh wow, you're so strong and interesting." Then I obviously can't reply because she's not there, so the interaction times out and she goes, "You're not listening to me, you're so mean." That's so good. He's got others, but like I just don't want to run through everything that he's fucking sent me. That was
He's trying so hard.
I love that was his first within a couple of hours of him starting the game. These are the messages he sent me, and he hasn't stopped. Like every time he's playing, he has more stories of how big of a fucking mess the game is.
Yeah. And look, I think people need to realize as well, this isn't the first time this has happened. I think Cyberpunk is under incredible scrutiny. But if you think about Ghost of Tsushima, that game on release was a buggy mess as well. And a lot of people forgot that. And that was like proper game-breaking bugs. Like you had to restart the console and everything. Whereas, with Cyberpunk, we've got, spawns and clipping, and there was one clip from Twitch which I thought was hilarious where it was like in the game they must have programmed this like homeless person to like wash their hands and like pee in a corner or whatever, and then they just didn't stop the pee animation. So this person was like walking around and engaging in like regular dialogue and stuff, just constantly pissing. Just pissing.
I've seen the bug where the pants don't contain the dick properly, so dicks are just like sticking out of the pants.
Yeah. That's the other thing as well. There's like actually like genitalia customization in Cyberpunk, and it got like a lot of people riled up because you can do some pretty strange shit with it because it's like a futuristic environment and body modification's a big part of the story. But there's great clips of like Pokimane doing character customization, and then like once you hit a certain part in the menu, it doesn't look at your character's shoulders up and it zooms out and just has them like butt naked. So there's a bunch of streamers who are like, "Huh," and then like TOS freak out and go back to the shoulders up. It's good. If you go looking for it, there's a couple of good ones.
I saw a screenshot earlier too of a guy, someone found a bug. It was on Twitter. Somebody had found a bug where when V gets into the car and they're driving around, they bug out and then they start T-posing, like sitting like out of the car. But also for some reason their ass is just above the roof of the vehicle, and also they have no pants on, so they're just bare-assed,
just mooning out the sunroof,
out of the fucking windscreen, out of the sunroof or whatever.
I love that so much.
Stolt also had an interesting story
good.
where he accidentally paid. He accidentally paid. Let me try and find his exact words. I accidentally paid some bloke $100 to fuck me in the ass, was how he put it. So if he wants to, I'll let him post his story in the comments.
I love that that's a thing in Cyberpunk. It's like, how did you end up in this scenario?
That's what I said
by
to him.
Accident. And then the next guy's
fell over and I fell straight onto his dick asshole first. I don't know how it happened.
Like opened the door and then I slipped and then my shirt got caught on a hook and then my pants got taken off by a dog and then I fell down another set of stairs and then I tumbled
into someone like a snowball effect, but also their pants fell off too, and he was also erect for some reason.
And there was a trampoline, and something happened.
Accidentally paid.
So, other than Cyberpunk, there's a couple of other things I want to talk about today, and I thought because oh my god, hello dog. I have a guest in my office. My dog, and she's just decided to jump up and say hello. Hello. Hi. Do you want to be let out? Okay. There you go, Chief. You can watch the video version to see Ollie on podcast. But, so I thought it would be a smooth follow-up, not so smooth now with that interruption, to talk about the Game Awards. Because we talked about this when iHoleMan was on the podcast. We talked about the nominations. Of course, the awards have been and gone now. And it was interesting to see how close we were to the money. So, Game of the Year. Have you heard what Game of the Year was?
No.
Do you remember what our nomination for Game of the Year was?
It was either Last of Us or Ghost of fucking whatever. I'm pretty sure. The Samurai
Ghost
game.
of Tsushima. Yeah. So, Last of Us ended up cleaning up.
Yeah.
This year's Game Awards. It absolutely crushed. So, Game of the Year, Last of Us Part 2. Game Direction, Last of Us Part 2. Most anticipated game, Elden Ring, which was from Software and Bandai Namco. Here's the thing, I've never heard of that game. So
how did that game, how have I not heard it? Like, From Software games end up everywhere because they're obviously the Souls series and, Bloodborne and whatever, but how did that not...
No dice.
Yeah, why was that nowhere? I have not even heard the name. It's so strange.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to look it up. Narrative, The Last of Us, Part 2. Art Direction, Ghost of Tsushima, picked up one there, which I was very happy to see. Score and Music, okay? We, as three people, were unanimous in Doom Eternal.
Yeah, probably didn't win it though.
Picking up that category. It didn't. Final Fantasy VII Remake ended up taking the dub. Honestly, it was between Doom Eternal and Final Fantasy. I think if it was to lose to anyone, I'm happy it was Final Fantasy. I'm so happy it wasn't The Last of Us.
I was going to say,
I'll
I
be
feel
straight
like
up.
It doesn't really matter as long as it wasn't Last of Us 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But I tell you what, in audio design, The Last of Us Part 2, performance, Laura Bailey as Abby from The Last of Us Part 2 took it out. Games for Impact, which we skipped over because we didn't really know what it was, but it was all about games that made like a big, made you think, was Tell Me Why. Ongoing game, the best ongoing game, No Man's Sky ended up winning that one.
Apparently it's
which
really
I thought
good
was
now.
really cool.
I still haven't touched it
See,
ever.
this is here's the thing about No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky on release took one of the greatest online beatings I have ever seen.
I remember.
I've never seen a game like on release get shit talked to that level. Like people are saying Cyberpunk's nuts. You need to go back and have a look at what happened to No Man's Sky.
I mean,
that game on release was
I think
just...
Battlefield 5 copped a lot of shit as well because it was an absolute fucking shit show for a while. But yeah, I think No Man's Sky wasn't just because bugs and shit. It was because, you know, this Sean in all of his interviews saying, yes, the game has this, it has this, it does this. It came out and it did none of those things. It had none of those things. And everyone's going, where the fuck are all these features? It's like, well, we don't have that in the game. Like, then why did you say that it did? Why did you lie to us?
Yeah. There is a fantastic video by internet historian called The Engoodening of No Man's Sky.
You have mentioned that multiple times in this podcast in the past. It is a good video, though.
It is a fantastic video. It's about 50 minutes long, so a lot of people aren't game to watch it. But honestly, I would recommend you watch that every day of the week. Every day of the week. It is a fantastic video. I would dead set if I was home one day and like I was with my for Christmas, I'm going back to like my hometown. I'm gonna probably I'll sit down with Dad and watch it and drink some beers. Like I think he'd really enjoy it. It's a very cool video. I think Dad's pretty up with. Like Dad listens to the podcast. Like he's pretty.
I've shown my dad some clips from our podcast, and
Did you show him the clips you edited? Because
I showed him a couple of those, and I've also shown him segments of things that we've talked about, like Adelaide's balls, and and he liked it. So I think most of the shit that we talked about wouldn't really he doesn't play games and stuff anymore. He hasn't in years.
No,
there wouldn't be much here for him.
But the culture stuff,
yeah, like all that sort of shit, he wouldn't fucking. No.
Yeah. So going further down the list, just a bit of a lightning round. Indie game, Hades 1. Woohoo! Debut indie game, Phasmophobia. Mobile game, Among Us, as if it could have been anything else. Yeah. Community support, Fall Guys, which I think is well-deserved. The Fall Guys Twitter account is hilarious. VR game, Half-Life Alyx. Innovation and accessibility, The Last of Us Part 2. Action game, Hades 1. Action adventure, The Last of Us Part 2, RPG, Final Fantasy VII, fighting game, Mortal Kombat 11, family game, Animal Crossing New Horizons, sim strategy game, Microsoft Flight Simulator, well-deserved in my personal opinion, sports racing game, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, multiplayer game, Among Us, content creator of the year, Valkyrie, esports athlete, Hio Showmaker Sue, esports coach, Danny Zonic Sorensen, esports event, the League of Legends World Championship 2020, called it from a mile away, esports game, League of Legends, esports host, Shocks, with Ifia Shocks Deportre, and she has a fantastic Twitch clip at the moment where she calls out a bunch of people who say that she only got where she got because she's female and because she didn't do a lot of, didn't do all the work that other people have done. It is an awesome clip. I would recommend to anybody who hasn't seen it or don't know who Shocks is. It's just a fantastic watch. It's really, really cool. Would recommend. And esports team G2 Esports 1. G2 Esports is a European organization, but there you go. So we were on the money for a couple, not all of them, but we were definitely in the ballpark for a lot. Of course, the biggest winner of the night being The Last of Us.
Yeah. How did that get innovation or accessibility? What's innovative about that game? Like, it honestly just seems like a story-driven...
So it's going to be like... Well, the thing is, the accessibility is going to be like for disabled people. So it'll be colorblind modes or subtitles or special control schemes, from what I understand.
Okay.
So... settings that you wouldn't ordinarily discover as an able-bodied gamer, I guess. I don't know if... I'm sure there's going to be someone from a community who will tell me that is not the correct term to use.
That's wrong, and you understand what I'm trying. You're a turd for putting it that way. How dare you? That was phobic in some way. Hamish, how dare you?
Yeah, you understand what I'm trying.
I know
to-
what you're
trying
saying.
to get
Fuck
across
that
there.
game.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. That's the Game Awards. Honestly, I probably would have preferred to have seen Doom pick up an award here or there. I really, really would have liked to have seen.
Who even makes those decisions? They have like a panel of judges or something, or like people in industry, or just a bunch of old dudes in a room. Like, how the fuck is this decided? Because if it's not people voting, then I don't give a fuck.
Well, the nominations are done by professionals. The voting on nominations is done by the public. I understand. I think that's what we were doing. So, all right, makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever.
not everybody listens. Like if you play Doom Eternal, I think you would understand how good the soundtrack is.
Yeah,
but
I still haven't.
I
picked it
mean,
up.
if you when you're coming up against a nostalgic titan like Final Fantasy, you really got to bring, not only a great soundtrack, but something easily accessible to everyone, because
There was also
20 years of nostalgia is difficult.
There was also a bit of
to
drama, I
overcome.
remember, with that soundtrack. I don't remember if we talked about it or not, but like Mick made all the tracks and everything, and then there was some problems on his end, I think, of
we
him
talked
getting it
about
out
this.
on time.
Yeah.
So somebody else mixed it and compressed the fuck out of it, so it didn't sound as good as it probably would have if he had.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it before anyway. So yeah, Doom Eternal soundtrack's probably good, but doesn't stand out as much as the first game. Not from not because of the composition, but because of the mixing or mastering or whatever.
Yeah, no,
iHolme is going to tell me that I'm using the wrong terms. That's fine. You tell me what the right words are, then. You sound Nazi.
He'll send you some messages. He'll be like,
Yeah.
listen,
I'm going to get bombarded.
You need to stay in your lane.
Shut up, you hairy fuck. Let me tell you how you're wrong.
God damn. Just get wrecked. Talk to me about Tony Hawk's Twitter account.
Oh, man.
Because I want to talk you through this dream speedrunning drama, but I think I want to do it in the later half because I really want to dive in deep on that one because I want to get your opinion on it because I think a lot of interesting things come out of it. But
So
talk to me about this Tony Hawk stuff.
I feel like with Tony Hawk's Twitter account, he posts a lot
Do
of.
we need to explain who Tony Hawk is?
I don't know. Do we?
I don't
he was
think
a very,
so.
He's a
I don't think
very
so.
famous, well-known skateboarder. He was a massive public figure, I think, for a long time, and now his popularity, more like the amount of people who recognize him has dwindled because his games aren't really out there anymore.
No.
They don't make new ones.
I think his name is...
Go on.
Yeah, his name is still synonymous with skateboarding. Like, if you think skateboarding, usually you think Tony Hawk. And he was... I think his claim to fame is he was the first skateboarder to perform a 1080. I think that was what Tony Hawk did.
Could be.
I'm pretty sure. I'm just Googling it right now. One of the tops, life and facts. Yeah, so he did. He was the first one to perform a 900. So 2.5 full revolutions on a skateboard.
Yeah.
And he did that at the 1999 X Games.
Not sure.
Yeah, 1999 X Games. Yeah. So he was big.
It was big for a long
skateboarder.
time. He had that very, very successful. Well, his name was on the games, but I don't know that he had too much to do with like development or anything like that. I don't know whether he advised much because the games are very arcadey. They're not simulations.
Yeah, they
at all.
are. A little bit.
Not
No,
even close.
they're not Sims. Like you can, and there's classic levels like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater Warehouse. I like if you've never played that, I feel for you.
I think the thing is that the games did quite a bit for his popularity as well. Like because they were so much fun, they just fucking nailed like making a fun game out of a sport more or less. Like it is just it's
Absolutely.
A sport.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it really
he gained
was.
a lot of popularity with that
you
too.
You could crash through a window and jump over a helicopter. It was like
just
it was
grind
like, yeah,
rails
hey.
endlessly. Grinding on rails picked up speed instead of dropping. Like it's a lot of unrealistic shit, but it was fun. Anyway, his Twitter account has a lot of interactions between him and people who sometimes recognize him, sort of recognize him, don't believe that he is the real Tony Hawk, or flat out don't recognize him. And it's just funny. Like I'll try and pick a couple here. I'll use the last one as an example. Haven't been traveling much for obvious reasons, but this happened today after I loaded my belongings onto an X-ray belt. TSA agent. Hey, Mr. Hawk, do a kickflip. Me. I can't because my skateboard and shoes are in your machine. Like, people are asking dumb shit.
Do a kickflip.
How would I do that right? Yeah.
I like to think the TSA agent was just having a bit of a meme. But I also like to think that Tony Hawk was absolutely having a meme in return. like, do a kickflip.
At a drive-thru,
just like, no.
Waiting on my order, looking at the phone. Guy at window. You kind of look like Tony Hawk. Me, turning towards him, assuming he's in on the joke. Ha, cool. Him, looking disappointed. Well, from the side you do. Here's your food.
I think this is one of the coolest things. That's so... And you know that guy is like... He probably went home and checked Twitter and he's like...
Oh, fuck, himself. It was him. Yeah.
He's like, oh, shit, it was Tony Hawk. Damn it. Like, I like to think that happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, how do you explain that to your friends as well? Like, I thought it was Tony Hawk and then he looked at me and then I realized it wasn't him, but then later I realized that it was him.
Yeah. And I didn't get a photo. It's like, well... Guess whose fault that is.
At place with my daughter, waiting for her by dressing room, mask on. Guy folding clothes nearby. Anyone tell you that you look like Tony Hawk? Me looking over, expecting sarcasm, but realizing he's serious. You have no idea. Him. That's cool. He's cool. Me. Thanks. Him. Huh?
Just this idea that nobody really knows who he is. It's so... It's surreal.
Like they know that he exists and they know what he looks like, but then when they look at him, they go, "Oh man, you kind of look like him." All right, see ya.
See ya. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like it's like if everybody was told who Arnold Schwarzenegger is, but had never heard his accent.
Yeah.
Does that make
or
sense?
Like only ever seen like poorly lit pictures of him or like low res or something. So it's like, oh man, it kind of looks like him. That's crazy.
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
like, yeah, when people say like, what's it called? Sharknado is made by people who have never seen a movie in their life, but have only ever had movies explained to them.
He's got one more. Yeah, this is a good one, but there's some real good ones in this account, but you have to really like try and find them. So I'd rather not spend this whole time scrolling through. But this last one here, at physical therapy, answering questions about my fingers. Therapist, have you ever had serious injuries prior to this? Me, deadpan, assuming she's joking. Yes. Her, how many times? Me, realizing she is not joking. Many times. Her, in the last 10 years? Me, in the last 40 years. Your fingers would get pretty fucking banged up. So.
If you just Google Tony Hawk's skateboard accident, I think you'll be in the right place.
Oh, dude, you'd have so many fucking stacks. Like, yeah, I don't know. There's some really good ones with people like Okay, one last one because this one is good as well. At a convenience store, waiting in line, wearing a face mask. Guy walks by and does a double take. You look like Tony Hawk. Haha, cool. But are you him for real? I am. Can I get a photo? For sure. So we took a selfie. Neither one of us took off our masks. The new normal sucks. There's another good one with this girl who's like, you look like Tony Hawk. And he's like, what do you say? Like, I am. And she's like, no, you're not. It's like, okay, I'm not. But are you for real? Yes. It's like, no, you're not. It's like, okay. Just keeps going back and forth. Like,
okay. Oh, no.
I know I've probably butchered that,
so
like,
much.
but just the exchange. I remember reading the exchange, and it was one of those ones where it's like, "Are you him? Yes. No, you're not. Okay, but are you though? Yes. No, you're not. All right. I don't want to."
Damn.
He's yeah.
Like,
it's
how do I
imagine being like his in his position where it's like at least he's aware of like he was famous, so people know his name and they kind of know who he is, but. So, there's a lot of people who know him by name and that he's a skateboarder only, and they don't really know what he looks like. Like they've maybe seen him on a cover of a game that came out 20 years ago. When you think about it, a lot of those games came out like fucking 10 plus years ago. So he would have looked a lot younger on those covers than he does now. So people wouldn't recognize him.
No, he'd be kind of graying now, right? I mean, not to fucking call out Tony Hawk, but
I mean, he does look old. I don't think he's quite graying.
Yeah.
But he is old, so like, yeah, he looks older, but I don't know. I guess because I've kind of seen stuff from him since the game stopped coming out, so I've kind of kept up with just passively. I've noticed how he's aged. So I think if I saw him, I would know it was him, and I'd know that he just looks like that now. He just looks old now. Whereas I think a lot of people
he's just an old
they've
dude.
only seen him in like older footage or like on TV or whatever, or like older game covers and stuff. So it's a shock to them when they meet him and they're like, "Oh fuck, I didn't realize you look this weathered."
Weathered. Rip. Rip Mr. Hawk.
Rip Tony Hawk. Oh, he's doing pretty well, I think.
Soz,
still.
man. Yeah, no, he's doing good. He's doing
Good sense
really
of humor anyway.
Yeah, so check out Tony Hawk's Twitter account. Not that he needs the clout from us. Ad time.
Oh.
Are you ready?
I mean, it's your turn.
Well, do you want a cup of coffee that will let you fly kick the moon?
How the fuck would I get back? That sounds terrible. What are you talking about?
You just kick the moon towards the earth. It's like pool. You bounce it off Saturn or something.
Jesus Christ. Do you want a cup of coffee that'll let you smash out old fashions all night and still be okay to drive home?
Oh, okay. All right. Kill the coffee will not reduce your blood alcohol content. But
No, I had heaps to eat. Don't worry.
Do you want a cup of coffee that will let you create your own speedrunning category called Dream Percent, where you rig the RNG to 100% and call everyone else liars before you can finish the run?
Ooh.
Bit of foreshadowing.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know what that is, so I can't really say whether I'd like a cup of coffee.
We're going to dive into that in a second. I think it's fascinating.
Do you want a cup of coffee so good it'll cause you to spit on the ground in disgust at the mere mention of McDonald's coffee? I mean, that already does that for me.
Rip
so.
Macca's. We shit on Macca's a lot.
Well,
here.
I do. I don't know if you do. You've admitted disgustingly to drinking McDonald's coffee here and there. I'm like, are you fucking
I'm a proponent of the Macca's coffee.
Fuck that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fuck that.
Look, when it's got to be done. When it's got to be done. Let me talk to you about arguably the biggest scandal on the internet in the past 72 hours. And it all centers around Minecraft.
Ugh.
Okay? Now, much like your response there, I'm not a big Minecraft fan, but I went and I saw this and I did a little bit of digging, and it is absolutely nuts. Right? So, take it from the top, Hamish. Are you familiar with Minecraft as a game? Have you played it before?
Yeah, I have. Yep.
Okay. Have you ever beaten Minecraft?
How the fuck do you beat Minecraft? What does that even mean?
Right. So there you go. So early on, Minecraft was a true sandbox. There was no ending to it. You kind of just, the game was, you find stuff, you turn it into materials, you craft, build,
Find
live
stuff,
out
turn it
your
into
little-
other stuff, make whatever the fuck you want, make weird structures
Yeah.
or whatever the fuck else.
Yeah, repeat, right? Now, in later updates, they added new environments. So in Minecraft, one of the things that you can do is you can go to the Nether. The Nether is a very hellish kind of underworld realm where you basically build a portal out of this special brick called obsidian, and then you light it and then you can go through, right?
Yep.
In later updates, they did something similar, but they created another world called the End, right? And the way that worked is you went and you found a portal and you unlocked the portal with a bunch of ender eyes or ender pearls. And then you went in and there's a giant dragon in there and you fight the dragon. And when you beat the dragon, the game's over.
Okay.
The credits actually roll and you return back to your world. You get ported back. So you don't like lose any progress.
Yeah.
It's like one of those games where you beat the final boss and then you're able to just wander around.
You did it.
Right?
Now you can just
So
go do whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get an achievement, which is called the end. This is just called the end. And then that's it, right? Now, because Minecraft has an official ending, right, quote unquote, naturally you have people that have begun to speedrun the game. So there are multiple categories that are splitting up every update. But the general idea is to, from a fresh save, so the minute you spawn into the world, get to the Ender Dragon and kill the boss as soon as you possibly can. Right?
Okay.
Now, for context, I've attempted to do a Minecraft speedrun before it was a big thing when I did my 24-hour stream.
Yep.
And myself and 3 other people were at it for like 7 hours and we didn't finish the game. Right?
Yeah.
Current Minecraft speedruns land around the 20-minute mark.
Jesus.
For a single person to do it. All right? Now, the reason that I'm talking about Minecraft and I'm talking about Minecraft speedrunning is there is one content creator on YouTube who has blown up. All right? His name is Dream. And the biggest, his videos get insane numbers of views. I'm just going to go have a look now. So he's got 14.1 million subscribers, right? His top 5 videos are all Minecraft videos. 54 million, 43 million, 37 million, 37 million, 37 million views. Huge YouTuber, right?
Yep.
And a lot of it is all speedrunning content. So he'll do him speedrunning as fast as he can, and he'll get his mates to try and stop him from, finishing his speedruns. I'm looking at his most recent videos as well, and they are all huge. So another 5 videos, 25 million, 20 million, 9.8 million, 36 million, 15 million. So all of his videos are huge, huge, huge. Yeah? Now, somebody had a look at a few speed runs he was doing on stream, right? They took 6 streams and they thought it looked a little bit sus. They thought he was cheating, right? And initially, I was kind of like, okay, somebody's cheating in Minecraft. The game has a creative mode where you can spawn in whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Surely this isn't, huge news, right? Oh, no. The speedrunning community takes this very, very seriously, right? Now, here's the thing. It's not like he was cheating with an aimbot like you would in a first-person shooter, right? The allegation is what he's done is manipulated RNG in the game. Mm-hmm. Okay? So he's modded it to get a certain result. Now, the reason he's done that is part of the strategy for completing Minecraft in about 20 minutes is you need to acquire these things called ender pearls and blaze rods very quickly.
Yep.
Right? And they have strategies for that. One of which is to go into the nether and trade gold bars for ender pearls. Like some people trade ender pearls. Mm-hmm. The thing is that's random. When you give the certain NPC a gold bar, they give you a pearl on a basis of 4.7%. Every time you give them a gold bar. Very low chance, right?
Yeah.
As a result, there's a certain level of RNG involved in each run.
Yep.
Right? Now, the Minecraft speedrunning community moderation team, right? Which sounds like it's going to be 2 guys in a basement.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's 15 people, and some of them have degrees in mathematics. And they're coders. Very serious group of people.
Clearly.
Right? Released a PDF and a report based on what they thought they were dealing with these RNG chances.
Yep.
Right? What they were dealing with Dream. Because people were saying maybe he just got lucky, right? Maybe he just had a really, really, really good run, right? So these guys went out of their way for 2 months, tabulated all of the results from other Minecraft speedrunners, and they found that Dream's luck was so out of proportion with other runs that it could not be held to be a legitimate run, and they deemed it invalid. Right? Now, this is huge for 2 reasons. One, Dream is a 12 million subscriber YouTuber.
Yep.
Right? Nobody wins in these little Minecraft speedrunning community moderators calling him a cheater.
Yeah.
Right? There's been people that have got like death threats over Twitter and stuff from Dream's fans, and it's been a massive mess.
Yeah.
Right? But the numbers that come in on Dream's luck is hilarious. Okay? So when we talk about RNG, what would you say is something that's like incredibly unlikely?
Incredibly unlikely. In what context? Like what?
Well, I don't know. Like if you play CS:GO, you roll and you try and unlock a knife, or you hit a very lucky shot. You'd say that's 1 in a what if you thought it was very unlikely.
I don't know,
it's very
man.
pog.
I don't. I try not to think too hard about that shit because I feel like when you start doing stuff like that, it's just it's too easy to fall into that like, well, maybe this time you start tracking the numbers and go, oh, this is it. This is going to be the one. Like it's gambling. Mm-hmm. It's gambling.
Yep. All right. Well, would you say that if I said 1 in 1,000, that's pretty good? That's pretty lucky.
Yeah, that's pretty lucky, I guess. Yeah.
1 in 1,000. 1 in 100,000. We're talking. That's pretty gnarly,
yeah,
right?
That's massive. Yeah.
All right. Dreams runs. Once they punched it in statistically, right? How likely you would be to get the kind of results that Dream did over 6 runs. And the way they do this is through what's called a binomial distribution. If you know maths and science and whatnot, you'll know how that works a little bit better. I'll give Titan a link to a fantastic YouTube
I'll
video
give this
that explains
dipshit
this sort of stuff.
a dumbed down explanation. Yeah.
But the end result is when they tabulated Dream's results, right? And they put it up against other like streamers and what the chances are of him getting these runs. It was 1 in 117 trillion.
So impossible, basically. Like
so, not million, not billion, trillion. The chance of him getting the results that he did with the RNG that Minecraft provides on a normal rate is 1 in 117 trillion.
So you would basically say non-existent, right? Like realistically.
Impossible, right?
This wouldn't happen.
Now, my favorite part about this is because then Dream's response was, this is biased, it's all bullshit, right? But the moderators of the Minecraft speedrunning community, being the absolute Chad 5-heads that they are, predicted this. And in there, I shit you not, 30-page document, 29-page document, where they display all of the math. They go out of their way to overcompensate for bias in Dream's favor, right? And it still comes up as like 7 trillion. 1 in 7 trillion.
Yeah.
Even with the most favorable execution for Dream. So as a result, his speedrun was found invalid.
Yep.
It's a really interesting video. It's about 15 minutes long. It's incredibly well made. Even if you don't know anything about Minecraft speedruns, it's a great watch. If you're the kind of person that watches Mythbusters, like whenever you're over at a mate's place, you will enjoy that video, right? This is the question I wanted to put to you, Jim, right? Because the part that was raised in a lot of people that were defending Dream was, well, he would have got those fantastic results anyway because he's a skilled Minecraft speedrunner. All he's doing by manipulating the RNG is speeding up the rate at which those runs will appear. So it's not really cheating. What do you think about that?
You're modifying the original game. That is cheating. How can your speedrun be? How can you say your speedrun is better than anyone else's if you're not playing on a level playing field?
Yeah.
Unless you want to give everyone else those settings, those same modifications, whatever it is that you've done, give it to everyone else and see if they can do it quicker than you.
Yeah. And I sort of came to the same conclusion because a lot of people were saying, oh, well, the skill makes the difference. Like, it doesn't matter that you've manipulated the RNG. All you're doing is, you're making it easier for that to occur. It's like, well, one, making it easier is how you would describe cheating fundamentally. But also, it's like, if you don't want a run or a game that has some sort of level of randomness as an influence, don't run that particular style. Like, a lot of people don't know, but there's different categories. I
don't understand. Like, that's like saying a PUBG speed run. RNG doesn't speedrunning games like Battletoads or original Super Mario Brothers, fine, because enemies spawn the same spot every fucking time. Every time they're in the same place. So that is a test of skill. It's a test of your memory and reflexes and how that's what they
some
are.
of the stuff they do is like frame perfect.
Yeah,
it's nuts. Yeah,
a fucking speed run that's heavily influenced by RNG. What's the point? It doesn't matter how good you are if you get fucked over by RNG over and over and over. It doesn't matter how good you are. Skill can't counter a bad drop rate. An unlucky fucking drop rate. You can't get around that. It doesn't. Yeah. Honestly, I think that's a fucking waste of time. It's hilarious to me that even exists.
It's pretty gnarly, hey.
Whatever. Those people aren't hurting anyone by doing that. I just personally think that's a fucking waste of time. It doesn't make any sense. Fuck.
It's pretty. Yeah. So now we're getting big responses on Twitter from Dream about him, cheating and blah 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 blah. And there's huge threads where he responds to all of these, comments and blah, 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 blah. It is fantastic. I would absolutely recommend.
There's an easy solution to that anyway. He could just admit, if he thinks that he's that good, he could admit to what he's modified and say, here's what I've done, guys. Feel free to do the same thing to improve the drop rates and then see how fast you are. See if you can beat my time. If he thinks that he's legitimately that quick, that it doesn't matter. If everyone else was on the same playing field he's on, and he would still be quick, then he would just release, he would just give the details. Here's what I did. Here's what I changed.
I think, that's a definite, that's one way of going about it. I feel like, you could just say, well, you can either take the position that it's, incredibly lucky or you think it's cheating, but are you going to do the same in the same scenario? Are you going to be just as fast? And I think that's one way of looking at it. I still think it's cheating. I still think you're discredited because I think fundamentally you have to play by the same rules as everyone else. Otherwise, it's just not competition. It doesn't matter if what you're doing has no, if you're of the opinion that it has no probative effect on the value of the competition, then, you can look at it that way. But I think just from a fundamental level, in any competition, you want everybody in the same conditions. Yeah?
See, this just...
Or just under the same rules.
This just reminds me of every now and then when some sports ball player gets caught doing roids or whatever and their defense is, well, everyone else is doing it too. At that point...
that doesn't...
Yeah, it doesn't excuse you
that doesn't
for breaking
help
the rules.
you.
But then if that much of it is legitimately going on, why don't you just lift that restriction? Let them all if they want to fuck themselves up, they're only doing it to themselves, not anyone else.
Have a roid league.
Yeah. You guys go for it. We're going to have two separate classes now, non-roid and roids.
Yeah, there was a push for a little while to have specific categories in the Olympics for performance
enhancing drugs and all natural.
Yeah, so like just to see how far a human could throw a shot put if they had heaps and heaps of roids in them.
And how long their heart would last before it gives out. That'd be interesting.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I was like, you know what? Like, as much as I have great respect for Olympians and the amount of work that they put in, I would totally pay to watch, like, you know, what science could produce.
Bring the excitement back to the Olympics. Legalize roids.
How fast does a man run when you replace his blood with Red Bull? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Like, I want to see how far a javelin gets thrown when it looks like a grizzly bear just walked onto the pitch.
They have like point modifiers, and your modifier becomes less the more boxes that you tick of the things that you're on.
Yeah, that's it. Like, can you imagine? Like, I'm just trying to think, like, just with sprinters, it would be like NOS. It's like NOS, but in a human. You know?
Oh, no.
Like, they hit the red button, it's like, go, baby, go.
Oh,
I think that'd be
NOS is so
hilarious.
dumb in movies. Yeah, are we done with this subject?
What other categories would you have, like, roid influenced in?
I don't know.
Man, I'm trying to think. So, like, obviously, like, explosive sports and that sort of stuff would be good. Distance running would have to be a category that would work, right?
That
would have to be.
Yeah, because, like, recovery.
Yeah, your ability to recover and sweat and stuff, that would be influenced. Yeah. Swimming would be intense. Volleyball would be nuts.
Jesus Christ, we're gonna have
imagine if
two
you were
teams
giving
full
people
of fucking
like
Abby in Last of Us 2.
Yeah, but like growth hormone. Could you imagine? Like, these people walk onto the field, they're all like 2.5 meters tall.
Yeah.
Like, how tall is the net at that point?
I don't know. Do you reckon that would fucking... I don't know whether that would help, because, like, at a certain point, if you're too bulky, you can't jump high. Like, these people need to be able to move fast. Have you noticed that? A lot of the volleyball players, they're not super, like... They
are very lean.
They're not massive
they're
people.
Tall and
They're
lean.
in good shape, but they're not, like... They're not fucking tanks. Like, they're not the same people who are doing, you know... fucking weightlifting shit.
Weightlifting would be an excellent category in the Roid Olympics. That would be an excellent... Can we just, by the way, put yourself in the comments what sport you would like to see in the Roid Olympics. I think it'd be fantastic. Okay, some categories obviously wouldn't be as good. Like, shooting would probably be the same. But
maybe...
high jump. High jump would be nuts.
Someone with... just say someone with... The reflexes, the thinking and reflexes, like the speed at which this person thinks and reacts to things. Think about if Shroud had taken on, you know, the fucking, what is it, the clay shooting. Barely even gets, like, out of the fucking thing before he blasts it.
Yeah, that would be.
I think there could be performance enhancing drugs for that. The only box I tick is coffee. I'm confident that I'm quick enough just with a cup of killer coffee. I'm going to fuck these clay pigeons up.
That's it. Exactly. The 100-meter sprint is whether I've got an after grog bog stored or not. Increases my time.
Oh, what do you mean? Why would I guess that would increase your time.
That would absolutely.
Fucking channel you're in a Sonic, mate. Got to go fast.
You got to go fast.
Got to get this grog bog out.
I got to get the grog bog done. Can we talk a little bit about Pringles? Because you put something in here about Pringles, and I don't quite know what it's about yet, but I really want to find out.
The Pringles logo has fallen victim to the trend the last few years of corporate logos being redone in, like, more minimalist styles.
Really?
Yeah.
Pringles logo.
Nah, just have it.
Oh wow, yeah.
Type Red Can Evolution. You'll see it.
Red Can Evolution.
So it's taking you through from 1968 through till, I guess, current Pringles, man.
Oh, yep, I see it. Yeah, but this one only goes to 2009,
which was was the pretty recent one. They were still using that,
yeah, okay.
And now they've changed to this thing.
All right.
So the Pringles man, it's supposed to be a guy's face, or guy's head, I suppose, with eyes, eyebrows, hair. See, I remember the 96 can. That's how old I am. I remember the 96 can where he had
Yeah, but the 96 can is where it starts to get good because before that they had him blushing on the can.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
He looks like he looks like Pippi
Yeah, I
Longstocking.
don't know why he's blushing, but yeah.
Yeah, the 68. Pringles has been around since 1960.
Maybe earlier.
What does
Who
it
knows?
say?
I like how the
Hang on,
one
what
says
does that
Pringles
say?
potato chips, and potato chips is massive.
Yeah, and then above that, you see what it says? It says newfangled.
Newfangled potato chips.
Ours are Pringles newfangled potato
Pringles
chips.
light potato chips. Pringles potato chips. Pringles original potato chip. Crisps. Potato crisps on that one.
Crisps. They switched to
1989.
crisps, yeah.
For some reason, my year of birth, it was potato crisps. And then after that, back to Pringles original. And then potato crisps is small.
Yeah, right.
Original potato crisps and
And
just
then
original.
now they've got like a flat black moustache.
Yeah, no detail in his moustache. His hair is gone. He has floating eyebrows above a white oval with no detail and just beady black eyes, just black little marks. And the picture, the image I'm looking at has that fucking meme from The Godfather where he's saying, "Look how they massacred my boy."
Look what they did to him.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so good. Look how they massacred my boy. Rip Pringles, man. Pringles is a chip in its own league.
Well, it was,
But-
not anymore. It isn't. When was the last time you bought some, dude? When I don't know what they did to them a couple years ago, but they made the can smaller and they changed the way they're made and they fucking suck now. They're so much worse than they used to be.
You reckon?
And they put the price up too.
Again,
Yes, I have strong opinions about
I'm not.
Pringles now.
I was about to say I'm not this tuned in to Pringle
Dude,
pricing,
I
but
used
clearly
to
you've
fucking
got the
love- I
supply
used to love
demand
Pringles
table.
so much. Holy shit! And then
You've got the quality tabulated
didn't eat
somewhere
them for a
in
little
spreadsheet.
while. I feel like it was like 6 months to a year. I just didn't eat them, and then out of nowhere, I was like, "Man, I really feel like some fucking Pringles. I'm going to go buy like 3 cans of Pringles and just fucking be fat." And then when I went to the shops, I was like, "What the fuck is this shit? Did I remember them wrong? Are they smaller than they used to be?" And then I had to look it up because I didn't believe. I thought my brain was wrong. I'm wrong, and then Pringles just always look like this, and I'm just remembering them bigger and being more impressive than they are. But no, they did make the cans smaller, jack the price up, and they also changed manufacturing. So it's like, oh, fuck, like I'll buy 1 can then and see how they are. And it was disappointing.
They massacred your boy.
They did. Fucking assholes.
Disappointing.
And then
Pringles.
the reason that I've it's in the talking points. I put that picture and then immediately followed it up with this article. It's old. It's the 2nd of 8th, 2000. It's from the Onion, so it's like a satire article, but still, it reminded me like this is how I felt.
Oh, I
eating
see it now in the talking points. You've got the
Yeah.
last can as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So do you want to read the title of this article out?
Man who thought he'd lost all hope loses last additional bit of hope he didn't even know he still had. Indianapolis from 2000.
Yeah.
Despite assuming that he had lost every last possible ounce of hope long ago, Area Office Supply Coordinator Bob Dempsey, 31, was surprised to discover Monday that he did, in fact, possess one tiny additional shred of hope, which he subsequently lost. That's so good.
The Onion's so good. They had another one, an article that was just titled, what did it say? Head of lettuce sentenced to slow, painful death in crisper drawer. And I felt a bit called out. I was like, oh man, I've done that to so many lettuces. I've used like 2 or 3 leaves off them and then stashed them. Yeah, I'll have some more of that in a couple of nights' time. No.
What are these other things you've got in the talking points? Could we talk about this for the last couple of minutes? You've got a New South Wales police pro forma that just says, death message, please attend blank and speak to blank. Advise them blank has been killed in a motor vehicle collision this day. Is this like what they do on a file to advise family members
New South Wales
on
Police
motor
Force,
vehicle?
General Station Pad. It does look real. It probably isn't, but...
No, that seems like
Yeah.
ordinary formatting. So yeah, up the top they've got the designation for the form number, and they've got the update of the form and the current date that it was updated. So this is ordinary government procedure.
Oh no. There's a couple Cyberpunk ones. There's some guy complaining on Steam. Don't pick a circumcised penis if you are a male V. It locks you out of romance options and characters will mock you in the game. I can't believe this is even a thing, but it's true. It's truly bizarre CDPR would let such a seemingly minor choice for a game to play a role in the narrative. Pretty low by CDPR in my opinion. And then underneath that is Rutger Hauer from that scene from Blade Runner. So it just says Cyberpunk 2077 has customizable genitals. The developer who had to model 2,695 different penises. And then it's just the Rutger Hauer staring. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
How do you like, because they usually have references for animators, like does he just have like a bunch of bratwurst hanging up the back of his office?
He has to have seen so many dicks. They probably made him look at so many. And because there's fucking sex scenes in the game, they're like, all right, so here it is. Here's a range of penises in all different shapes, sizes, and colors, ranging from totally flaccid all the way through to full mast. And he had to look at them all and model them accurately. And then like the transition between, I'd imagine maybe like, I don't know, how much detail did he have to go into? I like to think they lumped all that work onto one guy too. Like they just sat him in his own office way back in the corner where no one else has to accidentally, come across him looking at pictures of dicks and trying to model them on his computer.
Statistically, knowing the game dev industry, that's a straight male too. Statistically, the chances of that being like a non-male worker or a non-straight worker are very low. So he must really, really love his job. Just like in a general, like making games. Like this is not something that he went out of his way to pursue.
There's also there's a cover for a PS2 game that obviously doesn't exist called Tony Hawk's Existential Nightmare. And it has snippets of his Twitter account. This interaction, I forgot about this. Girl at restaurant. Are you Tony Hawk? Me. Yes. Her. Why? I had no idea how to answer.
Yeah.
God damn.
Let's talk about comments from last episode.
Okay, all right.
Of course, last episode we talked about 2020 Wrapped. These thumbnails coming out from Stolt are absolutely fantastic, by the way. Shout out to Stolt. And he's in the comments and he says, it is one of the most powerful tools Spotify has. He's talking about the Wrapped program, which of course shows you stats for all the music that you listen to in a year, puts it into one good little shareable package. We talked about it last episode if you want to check that out. Showing that you're one of the most powerful tools Spotify has for showing that you're a loser listening to the same songs over and over again.
I'm called out.
He's also said, I could imagine Titan having to sit through some sensitivity training, case in point with the Pokimane comment. It's funny how you said that they're made for covert operations. WD Blacks are some of the loudest consumer-grade hard drives in production.
Yeah.
And there you go. Motion blur 100% should be off by default. If you don't understand what those comments mean, you didn't watch the last podcast.
How dare you? What are you doing at the end of this one if you didn't listen to all the last one?
Yeah, watch every podcast episode in order and make sure that you suffer through our first 20 episodes where we get the hang of how we talk and the rhythm and, we don't talk over each other and say like very often at all.
Be sure not to skip the episode 0. No, we should delete that from the face of the earth.
Episode 0 needs to stay up as a relic. Like we can't.
I hate it so much.
That episode holds us accountable. That's what it does.
Oh no. And then Robin Carlson's commented with a couple of He-Man videos. One is the song that I was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one is it's an ad where they had a He-Man and a Skeletor dancing with each other. I've seen it before.
Pog.
So links to those in the comments to the last podcast, I guess, if you want to have a bad time.
A bad time.
Or a good time, I guess, if you're into that sort of thing. If you're into watching Skeletor and He-Man dance with each other.
Get amongst it. Absolutely get amongst it.
I appreciate you, Mono.
All right. Thanks, Mono. Anyway, if you want to catch us, you can on Twitter. You can also have a chat to us at Titan_5150 or at Viscerous TV. You can also catch Titan live at twitch.tv/T1TAN5150. What's your schedule at the moment, man?
Nothing.
Are you getting in? You getting the hours in?
No, I have been not streaming at all. I can't really commit to a schedule at the moment. I think I said that last week. Like I've got lots. I have lots of things happening. Some moving parts. I'm very, very close to signing a contract to build this house.
Oh, nice, my dude.
Yeah,
That'll be good.
Well, it will be good when it's fucking all done, but it's probably going to take ages to build. So in the meantime, I'll still be here.
You have to smash it out. All right. Otherwise, you can also catch me youtube.com/c/viscerous. I haven't uploaded something in a very long time, but I can tell you something is on its way. I'm going to have a big break for Christmas and I'll be editing a video and it's going to be fun. I think I'm going to enjoy the process of just making a video and then it gets released when it's done. You know what I'm saying? Rather than having like a schedule for uploading and being like, oh man, I really have to get this video out, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's just you will get the video when it's done.
Yeah.
That's
no
gonna
schedule.
Be. Yeah, I think that creates a better product. Because I can spend like 3 hours on a 2-second meme and it's perfect and not a lot of people will care about it, but I will care about it.
Yeah.
Like I still like occasionally, I think it's kind of narcissistic to watch your own videos, but I also think that there's an element of pride in it. And I really like going back and watching stuff and I'm like, yeah, this was I did a good job here, you know? And I prefer videos like that to videos where I've just punched them out and... I mean, all of them are funny. I'm in them. But...
Oh, wow.
Some of them are better than others. Some of them are definitely better than others. Anyway, my dude, let's close this one out. Do you have anything else you want to add?
I don't have anything to add this week, man. I don't think so. I don't have a thing to like fucking say to you. Fuck summer. I'll say that. Someone can fuck off.
Stay hydrated, kids. All right. That has been it from us. We will catch you guys next time. Thank you for listening.
Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.
All this talk about after grog bogs and dehydration has me thinking that this podcast is going in a real weird direction.
Toilet humor.
But I'm also...
the highest.
I'm totally here for it.
The highest form.
Totally here for it. The highest form of toilet humor.
I mean, yeah, look, I guess.
Oh my lord.
I usually like most of the stuff that I manage to get you to laugh at is like shock. It's just shock value. You're like, oh, that's so gross. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. I don't know, or just like
gross.
You know, I mean, it was the last one that you fucking sort of lost it when I was talking about Pokemon fucking copping a fist, mate, copping her own fist, and you're like, oh.
Oh no. Oh no.
Fucking
Holy
hell.
I'm hitting the red button.